lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Dad, the whole house. It's beautiful.
I can't believe it. G.I. Joe civilian.
Your brother's just a regular guy now.
So glad you're back.
This is supposed to be a celebration.
To great friends.
Dad's old radio. It said something to me.
Oh, what'd it say?
A warning.
So? Any idea how this thing got inside my sister?
Whatever has a hold of Zoe is something planned for us too.
Don't ever think I don't have your secrets in my possession.
Who are you? We can wait this out, and then we can all get the hell out of here. If there's a chance that if one of us leaves, it kills my sister, I'm not taking that risk. You are a soul protector. Who knows what that thing will do once it releases Zoe? We're dealing with something none of us understand.
What are you gonna do?
Now you can't leave.
She's everywhere.
There's a reason for all of us being here tonight. To cleanse our souls and release our demons.
What have you done?
Am I being held hostage by a demon or by you?
That's the thing about demons. They always come back to haunt you.
Don't let him go!
You did this to us! Show.
Many secrets.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to a beautiful Tuesday. I love the smell of victory and horror.
Happy April 1st to you.
Happy Fool's Day. You look at that. We got them in on Fool's Day.
No, April Fool's Day. Again, happy birthday to your grandson, Joey. Big day in the Santori household.
Yes.
Your second grandson. Look at you.
One,
more
there's
to come.
2 of 5.
There's one more coming.
I hear there's a few more coming, but that's that's on the lowdown.
You know, April Fool's Day, but Freddie has been talking about this movie, iPossessed, since yesterday.
Because
I
I went
guess you went to
Sunday.
do this on Sunday. Monday and Tuesday, you've been talking about this amazing movie that you
I'm
saw.
in love with this picture.
That you think should win Best Movie of the Year.
I would have. I saw the best movie of the year, which was a great movie, don't get me wrong. I just think that this felt more like a movie.
Well, maybe 2025 it can be nominated, yes? You never know.
Could be.
All right, so give us a backstory.
I'm gonna let them do that, but it isn't so much about the movie. I wanted them to come and tell their story, because their story is a giant reflection of what you and I have been trying to do for 10 years. They've been doing 5 years plus to put this movie together, and how they decided that they were going to do it. It's a unique story, and they didn't stop, and they made changes, and you heard some of them today, how they did the editing bit by bit, and he wanted to make sure everything was in there. They added things in there. They each have different careers and everything else. But I look at the story that we've done, the job that we've tried to accomplish. Because I'm always telling you, I want to make a movie.
He's always telling me he wants to make a movie, and I always get very nervous, and I sort of sidestep it and move on to another project.
Because they take movie making. You know, pregnancy is a beautiful thing when you have childbirth. Oh, by the way, there's a child thing in there too. Childbirth is a beautiful thing until you describe it. piece by piece. And there's a nurse in here, she'll tell you, ain't too cushy. It's kind of yucky. But making a movie for me, I always thought was simple. It's not simple, but I like to make it simple. There's nothing simple about this movie. You got to go see this thing. It's has all these bits and pieces, twists, and this and that. PTSD, I let that out about the military, because you know the military is here for me. It's part of this as well. But I want to bring them over so they could tell their story. But I was touched, it moved my needle, that they said yes to come in here and talk about this, promote the movie as much as we can. I want to do something on the radio for them as well, because I think it really, it needs it. It's deserving of it.
All right, we've got Javier, Tami, and Chris joining us from iPossessed. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Oh my gosh, what a treat. You know, we tease Freddie all the time that he's bringing people in. He always wants to make a movie. It's April Fool's Day. The fact that you actually showed up, I wasn't really sure whether he was telling me the truth or not. But you guys have been here all morning. So welcome to the studio. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, where do we even want to start? He tells me that it's been 5 years in the making. Who started, what the concept, conceptualized, the idea, the story, the book?
I had a dream of going broke. I was like, how can I do this as fast as possible? So it was like I'd say about 13 years ago, I got the bones of this script. There was this script called iPossessed, and it was like about a campy little iPhone kind of horror film that we were going to work on when I first started in the filmmaking business, and then things happened, and I kind of took this guy's script and rewrote it. He let me rewrite his script and made it to what it is this day, but that was an 8-year process before we even started this process, was to get this script and rewrite it. And then in 2019 we decided to keep writing more, so we invited Javi to come on and Tami to
really we thought it was going to be within our budget. That's the first delusion. But anyway,
what did you start off with a
First
dream
mistake.
budget of?
Well, we thought, since it was a one-house horror film, psychological shoot, that it's only 5 characters, and in the original budget back in 2013 was like, we could shoot this for $50K, and then get all in and do everything. No, and then but then this was 2019. We're like, we could shoot this for $100K, and whatever. No. So we got a phone call from our friend in was it October of 2019 that said, and I hadn't heard from him in years. He said, "Hey, Carl, you working on anything right now?" I said, "Yeah, I had this one house horror film. We think we're gonna do it ourselves." He goes, "Well, I'd love to put in $50K." And I'm like, "Okay, well, we got seed money. Now it's like, okay, this is gonna move us in the right direction." And then cut to December that year, I don't have anything. But it got us, it propelled us to go, okay, we're in. Now we're in. We'll put our money into it, and we'll just do it. We get the location. We start moving on it. Even though he never put in his money, he made us go forward thinking we could do it.
Now, are you a screenwriter, a producer by trade?
No, I'm a stand-up comic.
Okay.
28 years.
And that's a real, not April Fool joke.
Real.
He's a real stand-up comic.
Yeah, I'll be at the Dania Improv 6:30 show this weekend. So I was doing cruise ships for 10 years, and I had a bit of a drinking problem, if you will. I did Carnival for 10 years, and I got off in 2012, and I sobered up, and I was like, I think I want to be an actor. I didn't know how to be a stand-up comic back in the 90s, but I figured it out, so why can't I figure out how to be an actor? And I started acting, doing some stuff. I was in my first role ever was one of his romantic comedies he did called Love and Hostages.
Yeah, that's how I met Carl.
So I was a supporting character, and it was a cool little film, and so I got the bug.
Amazon Prime.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
So I got the bug to do that, and then I started writing like little comedy shorts and like a little comedy TV show, web series type thing. And then I started writing feature film scripts. I wrote one called Ghost Killers, and which wasn't very good. But then I started to write more, and then I completely rewrote this iPossessed movie script. And I did that because a lot of the things I was working on, these micro budgets films, just weren't good. I felt like I was the hardest worker in the room. I'd come in early, leave late. I'm just an actor. Why aren't the directors or the producers and all this taking their films this seriously as I am? And then every time I'd see, okay, well, we're done with it. This is the final product. I'd be like, I can't tell anybody I was in this.
Except for 11 Hostages.
Yeah, except for 11 Hostages. Yeah.
So then you brought Javi in. Javi, this is what you do, Love and Hostages. You're a producer?
So I'm a screenwriter and producer by trade, but my big thing is editing. So my career has taken me through editing. Starting in 2003, I got my first job on the Punisher with John Travolta, and I worked on a couple other smaller films, and then worked on Rock of Ages down here.
Wait a minute. You work with Travolta doing what? The Punisher?
I didn't work with Travolta. I did meet him once, but no, I was on the editing team of the Punisher.
So you put that together? Yeah, I know
yes.
the Punisher. Take it easy.
Well, I mean, I was a production assistant. That was my first gig, but
you worked on it.
Yes, yeah.
You're like the guy that hits a home run at Shea Stadium and says, "Yeah, I hit a ball out the park." I mean, that's something. You worked as an editor on
it is.
film.
So I've been talking about it for what 12 years, close to 12 years. And I feel like every time I say it, it's like, oh, tell us again how you worked on the Punisher. So now I kind of play it off. It's like, well, I got this other movie that I definitely produced and created.
Javi edited the trailer, wasn't it great?
iPossessed, yes.
The trailer was great.
Yes, thank you. We've been getting good reviews on not just the trailer, but obviously the film. So we're very happy. I'm an editor by trade. But I grew up wanting to be a writer, director, producer. And then I went to film school at UCF, Go Knights. And when I got there, I started taking classes. I'm like, I don't want to direct. I hated directing. I knew I didn't want to have anything to do with actors. So I just decided I'm going to do something else.
What's up, bro?
That's why I wasn't the director of 11 Hostages. So I became an editor, and that's how that's my bread and butter. And now, obviously, as my career has gone along, I've been producing and creating my own projects. So
how'd you bring Tami into this? Or Tami, what possessed you to say, I want to work with these two guys?
Well, yeah. So my background is nursing, and I have a health and wellness business, but I had done some public speaking, so that, I wasn't afraid of being in front of a camera, but Carl presented this project to me, and I'm like, I had to honestly take a minute to really just decide, because the theme is off-putting, I'm a Christian girl, iPossessed, there was like a demon possession, and I had to take a minute, okay, hold on, I need to look at this, but really, I actually did a deep dive into the origins of demon possession, and crazy enough, so back in the Renaissance times, the 1600s, if a baby was born with a cleft palate, the baby was considered demon-possessed. If you had a birthmark, you were demon-possessed. If you had a cough, if you had pneumonia, you were demon-possessed. If you had a lisp, if you had a limp, if you had, an extra thumb or whatever, any kind of abnormality was considered demon possession back then. And you were ostracized, banished from society. And the women who took care of these cleft palate babies, who cared for these handicapped people, they were considered witches, and they were burned at the stake for harboring demon-possessed people.
Oh.
Well, you went into this thing with a positive.
Well, I had to decide, and at that moment, I'm like, okay, I'm in, because I'm also this person that wants to dispel myths. I want to tell the truth. I want to, look out for the underdog, and there's so much in this movie, as you can attest to after seeing it. There's so many layers. It has a deep message, and that's what I love. And I love the whole idea of, in filmmaking, you actually invite an audience to walk in another person's shoes that they would not otherwise understand. And in that way, it can create more empathy across the board. And so I'm in. I have the bug.
And this is a full-length movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How long did it take to shoot?
We were on set a month in Lake Placid, Florida, a big farmhouse. Shot for 24 days, and then we had a couple scenes that were off, like a military scene. We shot that for a day. An antique store scene, shot that for a day. I did some pickups and some reshoots. About, I guess, 31 days total shoot.
Which
the
is
entire
abnormal for a low budget film. So we were doing it right. We wanted to make sure, because there was a lot of stuff that as we were editing, we're like, we need something like this, so we need to reshoot this, and that's the thing. The final product shows that everything Carl decided and Tami decided to do to elevate the film, they wanted to do. So that's why we had to like reshoot a scene and do all the stuff.
We did 10 test screenings before we in the process. That's why it kind of took so long. So we were doing test screenings and
taking audience feedback. We recut some things. We reshot a scene, based on if the audience had the same question over and over. We just decided to throw out the scene and do it over so that there was no question.
So you filmed in 2019?
2021.
Yeah.
To
April.
2025. Give me the time frame on all of that.
Yeah.
31 days about, right, to film?
Yeah.
With your retakes and everything.
Yeah.
The next couple years were editing?
Yeah, well, next couple years it was editing. Yeah, we just had several editors. It kept being passed down. We'd exhaust one editor and then go to and then we'd go to hobby.
Well, it was also budget, and we had a special effects team, and that was like $11,000 later. We're like, whoo, okay, hold on, we need to take a break and make more, because this is for the most part out of pocket. We did have some people come on board after seeing the test screenings. They came on board and helped us financially, but.
Huge leap of faith for
Carl
you
and I are in
But
for
you had
2/3.
also COVID to deal with, no?
Yeah, we had COVID, but in 2021 it was. I don't where you lie on what's what, but we were like, I'm not doing COVID testing. It's 2021. I'm like, if you want to wear a mask to set, you can.
We're
but
not
I'm
a
not
SAG.
requiring. We weren't SAG. We went non-union, and it was for. I feel for the filmmakers that had to do it. It was $30,000 just to have COVID protocol testing.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if you want to be a part of it, then come. If you don't, if you're scared, then please don't be a part of it.
But we were ready to shoot in May of 2020. So the COVID pandemic actually helped the film, because that's when it turned from a full-blown comedy into the horror film.
No, she doesn't know that part.
It was originally set to be a comedy?
Yeah,
Yes.
when we had kind of written it together, all three of us, was it was funny. It was 85% comedy, and the comedy kind of took away from the scares, and the scares kind of, but it was a fun movie. But in 2021, we were kind of presented with 3 months before we shot. I was presented with, what is this, a comedy or a horror film? And then reluctantly,
pick a lane.
yeah, I need to pick a lane. And reluctantly, I didn't want to do it at first. And then I woke up the next morning and I was like, yeah, we got to make this business-wise for one, and two, it'll just be easier. So I spent 2021, the beginning of 2021, every day, all day, rewriting the script, taking it from 120 pages to 88 pages.
But really, I mean, the horror genre is the most consumed genre around the world. Isn't that interesting? And so business-wise, it makes sense, because also a horror movie, and we would consider ours a horror psychological thriller, you can actually get it out there without big stars, without big names. And so, if we chose to do a comedy, it would just be a really tough
without
tough
like
battle.
Kevin Hart,
I mean, it's
like,
already tough. Everything's been hard, but
I'm a
it would
comic,
make it even
but
more
nobody
hard.
knows who I am.
Now, when you see the movie, there's a part in the movie that everybody in the theater laughed, and I don't want to give it away. And there's they extended something a little bit longer than normal, and I just chuckled at it. So after the movie, they spoke, and they said, they started out as something funny, and then horror and what have you. So if you look at the movie, it still has a flavor of funny.
Yeah.
It has a flavor. It has a tinge of funny.
Well, I feel like in every horror movie, you got to have those light moments anyway. So even if it's a full horror, slasher film, everything, there will always be that kind of humor. And I think for the story, these characters who are gonna go through these horrible experiences throughout the movie, I think there's got to be some levity to it. If not, people just go out there wanting to recreate the first scene of the movie, which I won't give away, but it's basically, you got to have these moments where you feel for the character, so you invest in what's going to happen to them afterwards. So the levity's still there, even though it's still a full-blown horror, psychological horror.
How'd you get from the editing stage to getting on the big screen? Marketing, how did you get there?
We hired a producer's rep, and we probably wouldn't need to do that again in the future, but this is our first go-around, and so we hired a producer's rep who then shopped. He loved the movie, so that's the first step, is finding someone who could, really champion the film. And his job is to take it to all the networks and the platforms, and helped us find distribution. And so we do have a distribution company, and we're going to platforms in April.
And we vetted our reps. We auditioned a couple, but one guy came on late, 5 minutes late, laying on his couch, and it clearly did not watch the film. And now you want to rep us? There's some delusional people out there that, and I probably, filmmaker wise, is probably like, oh, okay, this guy seems great. He wants to rep our film. But be choosy, and I'm not even sure that even our rep got it to really the people that he said he was gonna. He probably got it to them, but I feel like they didn't really watch the film. A few of them.
Well, here's the thing. Everything is like constantly changing in the movie world, and so certain platforms may have slates for horror movies and others don't, and so they're not even going to look at it because they're not picking up horror movies. So it's all like a big game of chance.
Well,
really.
It's not just that. We are no names putting together a film, but also. The name doesn't do it any justice or favors. Is iPossessed. It's like, oh, it's just another possession film. That's what I feel like they took out of it, not even watching. One of our feedback was, didn't like the film much, too predictable. So that tells me, okay, you didn't watch the film, because there's a lot of twists and turns. There's nothing predictable about the film.
All of our feedback and reviews is didn't see it coming, had no idea how it was going to twist at the end. Like, it surprised me. So
then when we were getting shopped around, then we had like 8 interviews, and they were all just mediocre.
With distribution companies.
Yeah, with distribution. And we'll take your film and we'll put it out on these platforms. But I wanted to do a comedy movie tour in theaters with it, because for one, it needed to be on the big screen. I felt we put so much into it. I'm just not going to throw it out on Tubi. So one of the caveats was like, are you willing to do this with me? And then the company out of Ohio, Good Deeds, Cranked Up Films. We talked to the CEO of the company, and he was like, yeah, this is a great idea. I love stand-up comedy, and I love how you're going to promote it. So you're going to promote it through your shows, and we're going to get people to the screenings via the comedy shows. So we've done that already. 14th city was in Delray.
Wow.
We've been to Texas. We're going to Atlanta next week after Davie, then Nashville, Ohio. So we're going around and doing these comedy shows and then promoting the film. And then we'll be on VOD in April. And so that's kind of what the whole process was.
And the cool thing about going to theater first and getting reviews and ratings is that when it does go to the platforms, it goes to Apple, Vudu, and Amazon April 8. When it goes to the platforms, it'll populate with the top movies, because those reviews, the theatrical, boost the algorithm. So that's what's hopefully going to give us a fighting chance to get seen.
Well, I have to ask you, Tami, because this was not your scope of business. You were in comedy and film, hobbies in film. He saw you as public speaking in your health and wellness. So I'm thinking, we would interview Tami all day long on the studio and the cafe for what she does. What has it changed your vision of what you were doing to the whole idea of filmmaking?
Yeah, I love this. So this I think leads into, so Carl and I made a commitment, from the very beginning, that we wanted to make something with a message, because we wanted to move people, because it's like, what else matters? People remember 10% of what you say, but they'll never forget how you make them feel. And so that's kind of my feeling and where I was coming from. And the message to me is so relevant and relatable. The premise is forgive and live. And so for each of these people, they think they know each other. They're a group of friends that get together for a housewarming party. Carl's character is a veteran that just retired from service, and so they're all, seeing this farmhouse that he bought, and they're a group of people who think they know each other, but they don't really know the struggles that each person is harboring inside, their secrets, their secret guilt and shame. And the premise is, so, like, for example, there's a difference between guilt and shame. Guilt is I did something bad, and shame is I am bad. And so each person is dealing with this burden of shame where they feel unforgivable. And that's what they're haunted with in this house. They're in a house together, but they're each getting haunted separately by their own worst regret, by the thing that makes them feel unforgivable.
The demon within.
How often in our own life.
Don't give away the movie, Tammy.
Oh no, I mean, I'm not giving any details away, but that meant a lot.
We would have stopped her.
No, that meant a lot to me
Yes.
because I think there's so many people out there who feel unforgivable, and I get to say in these test screenings and these movie screenings and the Q&A that according to God there is nothing unforgivable, and that's freeing. But I think you are just unable to live a full life if you're harboring all of that shame. And so the whole point is forgive and live and live a full life. And I just think that's an amazing message. And clearly it's resonating with audiences because we're having 1 and 2 hour Q&As, and veterans are choking up and welling up with tears, talking about how they feel seen. The PTSD portion isn't portrayed enough.
Why is the veterans piece so important to you? You play the vet.
He is the vet.
Yeah. I wanted that narrative since the beginning, since script, early script, was to focus. Initially, it was a Marine soldier coming back with PTSD, and I watched tons of videos and documentaries of men and women coming back and their stories of their struggles and their PTSD and what they're going through, and it really resonated with me. And I know a lot of military men, and I always respected that. And I probably would have went into the military if I just didn't go into college right after. It's like I toyed with it for a little bit. And I just had mad respect. And so, and this piece really, I know it's 5 main characters, but you're really watching this one guy go through this evolution throughout the entire film.
That's you.
Yeah. And so I was consulting with an Army Ranger veteran sniper for the film, for not only the script, because to get all the technical stuff, also for my character and how I should act. I'm a comic. I move around. I'm jokey, but this guy's like calculated. This guy is, he's stiff, and that's how I kind of had to play the role. And very monotone. My voice is a little different in the film. Yeah. It's, it's menacing. I want it to be this menacing. I put on 10 extra pounds for the role.
It took Carl like 3 weeks to snap out of this once we were done filming. And it kind of freaked me out. I'm like, is he going to be okay?
Every time I see him, I run for the hills.
And also we had military men involved. A good buddy of mine, Daniel. Now he cooked. I do a lot of the American Legions stand-up wise, so I met him on one of the shows, comedy shows, and he was a cook in the Army. I said, hey, do you want to be a cook for us for a month? And he's like, absolutely. So he came in and did all the stuff. I actually put him in the film. He's got a little cameo in the film because I loved him so much. Also, the guy I was consulting with, we had to move a couple actors around. We lost the main actor to like COVID diverticulitis.
He's in the hospital.
In the hospital.
He's okay now.
He's okay. We lost him. But we had to move actors around 3 days before we were going to shoot. We lost the main actor that we were rehearsing with for months. So we moved.
We cried. It was devastating.
Would you guys do it again?
Oh, 100%.
Heck yeah.
100%.
Are you going to do it again?
Yeah.
Another movie.
Carl has some other scripts, and we're pitching some ideas to our distribution company.
Javi's working on a few of himself.
But you pretty much self-funded this one.
Yeah, this one is, and
like
that's why we did it. 'Cause we needed something to show people what we can do. Because when you're asking for money for a film, it's like, well, what have you done?
Right.
So now we have I did this. Mm-hmm. From the beginning till the end. Like I'm the only one, Tami and I are here since day one through every day until the end of the movie. So it's you know, and Javi's been here since 2019 for sure, but
It's been a process.
but we've lost, nobody else is standing at the end. So it's like, it's an everyday, all day thing for me. Javi's got another job, he's got another career, and he'll come in and do when he has time and he gives a lot of time.
Don't be kidding. Every day it's like, hey, I need you to do this artwork, because most of the graphics and the posters, I created all that. But I love doing that. He calls me up. He's like, hey, we're gonna be in Davie. I need a Davie post. We need it for a story or for a Facebook post, and I'll be happy to do it. And honestly, he says, well, we're here till the end. It never ends. I'm still promoting my first film. I'm still trying to get other stuff off the ground it just never ends. But if you're having fun doing it, and I'm hoping most of the time you're having fun doing it. And you're proud of the work, and that's the one thing that I am super proud. Every time I see it, and I've seen this film probably now about 80 times, but every test screening, I flew to Puerto Rico. I didn't go with them to Texas, but we showed in Puerto Rico. They're going to Georgia. Every time we see it, the people when people enjoy it, knowing that they're there because they saw the poster, they saw the trailer, it's a sense of pride. So yeah, I mean it never ends.
Tell us where you are on Sunday. Sunday, Monday, you're in Davie.
Where?
At the Paragon Theaters on Davie Road. I used to work there as a kid. I used to usher when I was 19. So it's kind of a full circle moment for me.
It's on Davie and where?
Davie and Pine Island. It's like Pine Island Road and 595, right on that corner.
Sunday and Monday, one showing a day?
Yeah, one showing, 6:30 Sunday and 6:30 Monday night.
The theater's been there forever. That's where I grew up. That's crazy.
Is it?
Right
That's
there.
where I grew up, down the street. We used to usher there and tomfoolery.
Q&A after?
Always.
Q&A, yep.
Q&A.
And then after you leave Davie, what are you going to do? Maybe Lake Worth?
We go
the next day we go to Atlanta.
Got some shows over the weekend, and then we're screening on that Sunday. Then go to Savannah screening, and then from that screening to St. Pete Beach screening.
I want to get their information on Atlanta, see if we can send Baxton.
We can send Baxton. What I like to do is I like to give them the VMix call password.
Who, Bax?
So when they go, they hold up the phone and say, okay, we're here, and we can bring it right in here.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
The other great thing about all these screenings is that 3 theaters, after we screen them, they'll be like, hey, do you want another day? So we've had 3 theaters that we've done an encore presentation, and 2 of them, we got one more in Naples that we're showing again. So people, the people in the theater have requested for us to come back. Even Texas wanted us to come back. So that's the kind of reception that we're getting, where we're not only the film is getting good reception, the people who are putting it together are going like, we want you back, and that says a lot about the film.
Yeah, the GM, I walked in Amarillo, and he's like, oh, man, I got questions.
He's hilarious.
And then he went up and talked before our screening and told them that he put the movie in a bigger theater because he wanted people to be more comfortable, and that he was looking to get us to play the rest of the week. And then that's the thing with, and we weren't allowed to, and that's the thing with the distribution part of it, is that people were, not only the GM wanted to promote it the rest of the week, he's like, I'll bring people back, I want to come see it again. Plus the people that were there in the screening, we had like over 50 people there, and there wasn't 50 people in the entire theater.
No.
And so they were willing to come back and do this, but the buyers and the powers that be, they're crunching numbers all day. They're like, well, they don't have enough marketing to warrant another screening or whatever. Meanwhile, we just got 50 people there that we didn't know before we got there.
Right.
I did the shows, and now they know about it. So word of mouth could have spread pretty quickly, I think.
And that's what we're up against.
So,
we're the little fish in the big pond.
Welcome to our world.
Trying to push a boulder uphill here. And I had to sit with that for a minute, but I was like, Carl, it doesn't matter how much marketing budget is behind a bad movie. It's the audience that's going to push it. And we have the audience. We do need help marketing because it's just us. And we'll know we've made it when we're not personally inviting people to watch our movie anymore. But it is, we're so blessed to be here and so grateful for every opportunity.
Thank you so much for joining us.
So what did I tell you?
And it's a Florida film.
It's a Florida film, Florida-based, Florida-filmed. Head out to see them, Davy, Sunday and Monday down at the Paragon. That's incredible. I know it well.
The persistency that you guys did, Javier, the trailer is fantastic. The acting is fantastic. I like the story behind the story. I'm just dying what you're going to do next, because you do have an audience. But even if you didn't have, this movie is going to make it in the long run. I can see that. I can see people coming out. The PTSD. You know, if it said, I am possessed, and this is the story behind, because everybody has a secret. And it's funny because she kept saying the word forgiven. That's in the movie too.
True. Wow.
So all of this, because I saw it, and I can run and say, I can say, you know, it's a lot of what we went through trying to get this
We're still
done.
going through it every day.
We're still going through it, but it's an everyday love.
Every day.
It's not an everyday job. So congratulations. I hope nothing but the success for
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. Check out iPossessed at a theater near you, and hopefully big award ceremony next year. We'll
Absolutely.
have to see.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got Helen Archer of Cosmic Astrology Society joining us. Last week of Mercury retrograde. Hopefully things go straight by Sunday. More to come. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Midday Brooklyn Cafe Show with Dawn and Freddie S. Every weekday from 12 to 2, tune in for the ultimate midday escape. The perfect blend of entertainment, culture, and community, all served up with a side of Brooklyn flair. It's the South Florida show that everyone's talking about.
Amp Media Productions is excited to announce our expansion into North Miami. With our experienced team of radio and TV professionals, we are dedicated to bringing North Miami the highest quality audio and visual production services. Whether you need radio or television commercials, podcasts, music videos, or audio and visual storytelling, we can provide the solutions to help you reach your goals. Our team is reliable, innovative, and creative, and we're ready to help you develop the perfect product. With our competitive rates and personalized service, you can trust that your project is in the best hands. Contact us today to get started on your project. 866-224-5422.
This is Smoke Barbecue. We're located in Fort Lauderdale at 3351 Northeast 32nd Street, Fort Lauderdale 33308. Our website is www.eatsmokebbq.com. It's EATSMOKEBBQ.com. You can order online. We also do catering for 10 to 10,000.
If you are looking to bring your family out to an incredible food venue, this is the place. We're at Smoke Barbecue in East Fort Lauderdale. Everything is amazing. You can see their faces on our crew, and the amount of food that they have taken down in about 15 minutes is absolutely unbelievable.
And we're still going. I can't talk amazing.
And everything is coming. So here, let's eat.
Your True Oldies Listener's Guide. Listening in the Palm Beaches? That's 95.9 FM. On the Treasure Coast? You want 106.9 FM. In Boca? It's 95.3 FM. We've got Fort Lauderdale and Broward County covered with 96.9 FM. And you can always hear us anywhere at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
In a world where finding reliable and compassionate home care can be overwhelming, Sunshine Home Care Services stands as a beacon of hope. That's why we've partnered with professional nurses, physical rehabilitation centers, and medical offices to ensure their patients receive the very best in home care. At Sunshine Home Care Services, our mission is simple yet profound: to support and enhance the lives of our clients. We genuinely enhance the quality of life and offer a comprehensive suite of 26 services tailored to meet every need. We go beyond the basics with health monitoring, emotional support, pet care, and home safety checks. Sunshine Home Care Services is more than just a service. It's a partnership in care. We invite you to experience the difference a compassionate team can make. For a personal consultation, call us today at 561-821-5811.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
You say I'm a nobody. You can tell everybody that I'm a somebody that you once knew. And now I'm a strong man with a simple plan, playing music across the land like you wish you could do. Well, I've got one thing, I've got two words that I want to send out to you. It's my middle finger, and those two words, one starts with F, the other ends with U. Come on, boys. If you hear me on the radio or playing at a country show, don't tell people that you know that we are friends. 'Cause I remember all the words you said, trying to mess with my head, telling all your buddies that I'll never make it nowhere. Well, I've got one thing, I've got two words that I want to send out to you. It's my middle finger, and those two words, one starts with F, the other ends with you. Come on, boys. Well, I've got one finger, I've got two words that I want to send out to you. It's my middle finger, and those two words, one starts with F, the other ends with you. Well, I've got one finger, I've got two words that I want to send out to you. It's my middle finger, and those two words, one starts with F, the other ends with you. One starts with F, the other ends with you.
Shot right here. Freddie is doing some meet and greeting. Join me on Sunday, April 6th for iPossessed down in the Paragon Ridge Theater. When I was growing up, it was called Pine Island Ridge Theater. I can't believe it's still there, but heck, I'm going to check it out. So if you want, we'll put the QR code, we'll scan this flyer for you, get your tickets, meet and greet after the show. Sounds like an amazing show, film, not only because we got to interview the founders and the creators and the actors, but it's a film made in Florida, and now with the way things are changing in filmmaking in Florida, it's just not happening here. So come on out, support local, support our community, find the demon that lives within, right? Guilt, shame. I can't even believe that's what it's about. And now we've got Helen Archer. So we're going to tap into some more subconscious. I'll be there Sunday at 6:30, iPossessed, and then it goes into video on demand in April. So check that out. And well, you know what that means today? It's Tuesday. It's the 1 o'clock hour, which means Helen Archer of Cosmic Astrology Society is joining us. And as she comes in for the end of our last segment, she says, isn't that such a coincidence? We're going to be talking about clearing out your subconscious. I've been clearing out my closets. I've been clearing out my pantry. I feel like I'm going to be clearing out my bathroom when I get home. I don't know. It's just like this feeling that I need to clean and purge and bring in some spring cleaning. So welcome, Helen. Thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure to be
Why
here.
am I feeling this way? Because I'm like in tune with the planets?
Well, when Mercury goes retrograde, we have a tendency to want to clean things out and, declutter our lives. So that's a good thing to do with Mercury retrograde.
All right, so what's happening?
So what's happening is, aside from Neptune, which we'll get into in a minute, we have Mercury retrograde and we have Venus retrograde, and now they have moved from Aries into Pisces. So now we're more concerned about our personal space, emotional aspects of our lives. We want things cleared out. We want things organized, and so it's a little iffy. It's not really a good time to start new ventures, so we want to wait on that. It's not really a great time to have any kind of cosmetic or medical procedures done. Chances are, even if you have them scheduled, they may be postponed or canceled. But the thing is, we have to revisit our emotions. Pisces is a very emotional sign. They're very ultra-sensitive. They're intuitive, they're meditative, they're creative, they're talented, and they have an instinctive knowledge of people, and they're very intuitive. So now is the time to try to connect with people and understand people, help them over their crises or whatever hang-ups they have, because as I said, Neptune now has moved into Aries. On the 31st, it entered Aries for the first time in 168 years. So none of us have really experienced what the Aries transit is going to do. So what we have to do is we have to think of the planet Neptune and what it stands for, and the sign Aries and how Neptune is going to function in Aries. So let's discuss Neptune.
Let's discuss Neptune.
So Neptune in mythology was the god of the sea. So he rules the ocean, and it's in Pisces. The sign of Pisces is the home sign. Neptune rules the sign Pisces, and it becomes an ocean of emotion. So Pisces is a dual-bodied sign. It's the two fish. So there's a positive side and a negative side. The positive side is creativity, intuition, psychic ability, developing your sixth sense, being an empath, being aware of people's feelings, understanding them sometimes better than they understand themselves, and helping them over emotional crises. And also, like, nurses like Clara, who was it, Nightingale, was a Pisces, and she was like, the nurse that helped the soldiers. So anyway, that's the Pisces influence. Now, Neptune is going to rule the subconscious. So we have an ocean of emotion in our subconscious, and we have to realize what is holding us back, what the negative emotions that we've experienced over the last 14 years, which was the transit of Neptune in Pisces. It's also the sign of karma. So we've had a lot of relationships that we wonder why these people came into our lives. Why the relationships in some cases were not successful is because we had karma to work out.
But now it's going into Aries.
Now it's in Aries. Aries is a fire sign, so fire is positive. So what Neptune in Aries is ready for a new start. And in order for us to be able to move ahead and take advantage of opportunity and receive cosmic knowledge to help us be successful and make the good choices, we have to clear out our subconscious. Because if we have negative emotions in there, then the power of Aries cannot go through.
It seems to be coming forward. Everyone who comes into the studio is telling me you need to clear it out, observe, don't absorb, let it go, let those old emotions go, because otherwise we're going to take them with us like baggage into the next 14 years, I guess, as we stay.
On and off, yes. So we all know about the subconscious, and so when we realize that, there was something in the past, like something reminds us of an event in the past, we need to objectively analyze it and say, how did I react to it? What could I have done differently? Don't blame yourself. This is all a part of evolution and learning. So we have to take the negativity out of it. Once it's exposed, we can cancel it out and be free of it.
Is it a time to maybe relearn, as we're reassessing how we've reacted to a situation, to relearn and say, maybe I can do it better the next time, clearing out the karma as well?
Yes. And a lot of the karma is over. Like a lot of things have ended for people, and friendships, relationships, situations, circumstances. So if they've ended, that means the karma for them is over, and now you're ready for a new start. And the people that are going to be there for you in your new life, in your new start, they're going to start coming into your life.
A lot of relationships have ended. You said they were going to if people didn't hold on through Mercury retrograde, and they're ending these long-term relationships that people have had. Commitments have changed. The guys don't want to commit, and the girls are saying, then we can't do this. And you had told us, I had warned people that I know, but if you're not in the know to hold on, it's just imploding.
Well, so the good news is that Mercury is going to go direct on the 7th, which is Monday.
It's Monday.
So it's starting from standing still by like Friday, and then on Monday it'll start moving slowly ahead, and then by the 14th it'll be full force ahead.
So we'll be back to going forward again.
And then Venus is going direct on the 13th, and Mars will be leaving.
Put on your glasses. It's all good.
Getting old. Mars will be leaving Cancer on the 19th. So this is going to make people a lot more positive, a lot happier. Family situations and relationships are going to evolve to a new level. So that's a fire sign too. So that's going to stimulate the planets in Aries. So we're looking forward to those changes around the middle of April. And I would say that, after the middle of April is the best time to move ahead, to start something new. And the other thing with Neptune changing to Aries, being isolated, being at home, being by yourself is no longer viable. If you don't get out there, if you don't make things happen, if you don't meet people, if you don't communicate, especially with Jupiter in Gemini, which rules all those things, then life is going to pass you by, and instead of standing still, you're going to be going backwards. So get out there, be positive, be happy. If you have hesitations, tell yourself that you need to lose those hesitations and have a positive, confident state of mind.
What's really interesting, because we're going into Passover, which is the 11th and 12th, or 12th and 13th, Easter, Good Friday's the following week. That's just when you say families are going to be coming together. Will emotions be a little bit easier going? Family gatherings are a little rough. Do you think with the planetary shift it's going to be easier? People will come more together now?
I think so, because we've been under this Mars in Cancer cycle since last October. It's retrograded in Cancer. It doesn't retrograde all the time, but in Cancer, which rules the home, it rules food, it rules the digestion, it rules emotions, it rules motherhood. So all these things were in focus, and everything that was wrong with all these aspects of our lives was like magnified. Yes. And we've been upset about it, and we've been maybe not acting very kindly in a lot of circumstances, but now it's going to go into Leo. Leo is a sign of happiness. Leo is a sign of drama. Leo is the sign of the stage, of plays, of being center stage, of being a good orator, of being a good parent. So Leo is positive.
It's funny because you've been talking about this since the fall. And I can hear Freddie saying, oh, now I got to wait till the spring. I got to wait that long. We have to wait that long for our fundraiser. But here we are. And I'm ready to bring all of this forward and get rid of all the old karma, clear out what we need to clear out. And because of you, we have our spring fundraiser that we waited. Instead of doing it in March, we pushed it to May 2nd. So we are in full force.
Yeah, so just make sure my reading is successful. So come into the fundraiser.
We picked the date. You've been right spot on with us for all of this. And here we go.
And I think everybody's ready to get out there and do things because we've been held back for too long. And the economy is going to get better because, this is a Cancer country. We have 3 planets in Cancer. Mars has been jeopardizing our peace, our freedom, and our democracy in certain ways. But the democracy is strong. And once that Cancer planet Mars moves out of Cancer, we're going to have all that lifted from us. And the Mars in Leo with the positive Jupiter, with the positive Neptune, and then Saturn will be moving into Aries too. So we won't have that Saturn negative influence in Pisces that we've had for 2 years holding us back. So we're full speed ahead, and it's going to be optimistic, it's going to be positive, and we're all going to make money.
Which is all good. And I was thinking about Passover and eggs. I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go. But it's spring. I got to get the eggs. We've got Passover coming, Easter. It seems like everything is just coming full circle and coming to like this pinnacle all at the same time. Yes. Of spring, of awakening, of being kinder to each other, of families coming together. Family gatherings are stressful. I'm hoping as everything shifts that it's going to be a little bit better in the spring than it was when we all had it in the fall.
Yes, it'll definitely be better because we've all learned. We've
you
all
think?
learned, and hopefully some of us, but mostly we've all learned what we need to do to have harmony and peace in our lives. Now we just have to follow through and make it happen.
Just trying not to take things in. So we're pretty good now between April and July, and then things shift again.
Then in July, Jupiter changes signs from Gemini, which is a sign of communication, transportation, opportunity. It's going to shift into Cancer. And as I said, we have 3 planets in Cancer. So this is a Cancer country. And the Jupiter cycle, when it goes into your sign, is a once in 12-year lucky cycle, because it takes Jupiter a year in each sign, so it takes 12 years to come back. So that's a good positive cycle also for Cancer. So all these problems that you had over the last 6 months, they're all going to go away. You've learned from them, and now you can be successful for that year. From June of this year till June of next year, you'll have a lucky year.
I know, I've been feeling a lot more fiery these days. A lot of people, a lot of my spiritual angels have been coming forward and giving me the same message over and over. So I'm feeling as if now's the time. I really need to heed the listening, the warnings, do what I need to do, and grow what we have to grow. Right now is our time to move forward, to push, to do what you love, to find in your heart. This is what they told me yesterday. If it's in your heart and you've got the passion to do it, now's the time to pursue and kick it forward.
Okay, so now let's talk about the eclipse we had on Friday. So
yeah,
that
it was
a
a solar eclipse, right?
eclipse, and we had that earthquake in Myanmar, that 7.5
terrible.
earthquake. And I told you when the eclipses come around, maybe we get excited about them, but they're not good for the earth. So earthquakes, volcanoes, there's also the volcano erupting, those and the bad weather. So with the Mercury retrograde during the eclipse, the bad weather, there has been, a lot of airline accidents and things like that, almost misses. So we need to be careful when we travel during an eclipse, especially with Mercury going backwards. So by the middle of April, all of that should kind of abate, and things will be going a lot smoother, especially in transportation.
I mean, they said, I don't remember the last time there was an earthquake in Myanmar. 2,000 people. I mean, Helen, it was
2,700.
So far-reaching. Why there? I know it's a crazy question to ask. What's going on that it ended up in Thailand?
So the eclipse was at 5:36 a.m. So we don't see that at 5:36 a.m. So different parts of the world where the eclipse is more visible is where those effects are going to take hold.
Wow. Just devastating.
It's devastating. Yeah, my heart goes out to all the victims and their families, and I pray for them.
All right, so we're pretty good for another couple of weeks. We're holding our breath for about 10 more days, and then things should start to settle out, calm down.
So as I advise people with Mercury retrograde to travel, check your reservations, have alternate plans, make sure you're aware of the weather, and if you have a cancellation, it may be upsetting, but it may be better that you're better off if you wait to travel than doing it right now. I know there's very bad weather that's going across the country, so
Tornadoes.
Be very careful if you're out traveling.
Right?
Don't drive, and stay alive.
A ton of tornadoes that are happening yesterday, today. Weather's kind of bad. It's just crazy what's happening. What about love for people, relationships? Are they going to be opening up for spring relationships, new awakenings?
So we've had a little pause in the advancement of relationships because Mercury and Venus were going backwards. Now all the planets are in Pisces, so those relationships that are keepers, that are long-term, those are going to benefit right now. New relationships that we started, we may find that we're not really that compatible. The person really wasn't what they said they were. So we have to have an open mind. Now is not the time to push for concessions or to make demands. Let Venus go forward, and then we'll see where we stand. But emotionally, we've got a water trine, so we should have nice feelings and feel for other people and be kind to other people and not so demanding.
Sophia's smiling. And I'm looking to see whether your earbuds in, but you don't. This is your first time hearing Helen.
Yes.
What's making you smile?
What she said about relationships was very on point.
Yes. So let's not be disappointed. Let's just hold on and see where things go. And then if a relationship you started in the past few weeks doesn't work out, just be confident that the next relationship is going to be 10 times, maybe 100 times better, and you will have learned what to watch out for and what to see as a red flag that you don't get involved with somebody who's not good for you.
It's funny. She's just laughing over there at me. She must know it. I'm telling you, the past couple weeks, 6 weeks, I guess for relationships, I'm hearing so many people going through exactly what you said. And it's just one after another, the heartbreak, the not realizing what it was 8 years ago, 5 years ago, 5 months ago, what you thought it wasn't, or doesn't seem like it is. I don't know whether they're going to reunite, come back together, but in this moment in time, it's a lot of turmoil.
Well, usually, if you try, especially with Mercury retrograde, but especially with Venus and both of them retrograde, which is very unusual, it's really hard to start or break up a relationship. So a lot of these relationships that had traumas happening, they may equal out, and then the people will find that they can come together in the middle, that it's worth it. So a little challenge makes you reevaluate your relationship and hopefully improve your attitude and behavior towards the person or people. And this isn't just romance. This is also family and friendships, and in some cases, business relationships.
Sure, everything's a relationship, right? It's the coming together, collaboration. Wow, always good information with Helen Archer. All right, Helen, where do people find you and follow you and reach out for their own readings?
I am on Cosmic Astrology Society on Facebook. Please join my group. And also I have my little postings that I do as Cosmic Astrologer on TikTok, and I'm getting good response from there, even though I'm not paying to get more views, but I'm happy with the response I'm getting.
Well, I am looking forward to things settling down, having some spring weather, some new relationships, growing business, having the fundraiser. A lot of great things. So thank you for all that you do, because we do a lot of our planning based on the planets and the stars and the advice of Helen Archer. So if you want her advice, she can do your own private reading for you. She can put your chart together, everything that you need to know. So reach out to her at Cosmic Astrology Society on Facebook, on TikTok. We can always get you her number directly, but it makes a big difference. So thank you so much for all that you do.
I love it.
All right, more to come. We're going to take a commercial break. Can kind of breathe because you feel like spring is in the air. We'll be right back.
Amp Media Productions is proud to announce a collaboration with ABC WPBF, producing high-quality commercials for clients in Palm Beach County. This partnership will leverage Amp Media's creative expertise and video production capabilities with ABC's extensive reach and community connections to deliver top-notch advertising solutions. Contact Amp Media Productions today to amplify your impact in business on ABC WPBF.
Family business. It's me, my sister, and her soon-to-be husband. We've been here for about 5 years doing our thing in this beautiful little spot right in the heart of downtown Boca. We really are like that authentic New York, New Jersey, Northeast thing that you want to have when you're in South Florida. Our bagels are made from scratch every single day. They're top-notch, best you can get around here. And then lunch, chicken Caesar wrap, or like we have a beautiful avocado supreme salad. That's really, really great. And of course, all our sweets are incredible too. You know, something savory, salty, and a little something sweet after. And we will do our best to provide the best service, best food, best everything. And if there's anything you need, we'll do it.
Breaking news, aliens have finally made contact with. Welcome to the Amp Media Studios here in beautiful downtown Boca Raton.
In conjunction with True Oldies Radio South Florida, Amp Media Productions is here to help amplify your impact in business and to bring greater awareness to our community. Give us a call, 866-224-5422. We'll see you soon at the cafe.
And like I always say, come on down and visit us and don't be late.
You're listening to the Midday Brooklyn Cafe Show with Dawn and Freddie S. Every weekday from 12 to 2, tune in for the ultimate midday escape. The perfect blend of entertainment, culture, and community, all served up with a side of Brooklyn flair. It's the South Florida show that everyone's talking about.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
Specializing in color pencils and graphite art, J. Harmon brings art to life with styles such as Art Nouveau, Ultra Realism, Abstract Realism, and Pop Art. Whether you're looking for a piece to make your walls feel like home, some flair for your office, or giving your pet the ultimate photograph, J. Harmon has art for all. Come see some of his work in person at the Brooklyn Cafe Studio. Visit his website for prints, mugs, commission info, and more.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Wow, that's very cool. Helen said now's the time to move forward, do what you want to do, clear out the old, get in with the new.
I just did that.
And that's what exactly
We're going
what
to
it's
go
about.
with them to San Antonio, to Atlanta, everything. And they said that the next project, they're going to give us a holler so we can get involved with them as well.
Nice.
It's like a bucket list.
For you, it is.
It is.
Out there talking. I didn't even realize who you were talking to. We just kept rolling and going.
Well, the nurse has this whole doctor thing. She knows, like, rector of what is it, a DN?
DON?
No, the other one that runs the place.
CEO.
Yeah, one of them.
Director of nursing.
That one, all those.
Okay.
She has all that.
That's
I said,
DON.
good, I need all that.
All right, very cool.
So she says, I'm interested. So let's see what happens.
DON, Director of Nursing.
Thank you there, voice of the sky. Thank you.
Well, nice of you to join her. She's running cameras. She's got it all going.
I got to tell you, that to me, it means a lot because I got to meet Carl a little bit, and he wants to give back, and he's running into a wall where people just don't understand what his whole makeup is. And they gave me a good glimpse of that, and I just wanted to share that
Really
today.
nice people. It's nice to see what's happening in Florida for filmmaking. Great people, not even what some of them were doing as their main career, and to see what it really means. And to actually to hear Tami's view on the demon within, that it's not the demon on the outside, it's all the trauma and tragedy and guilt and shame that we carry within us. It's our reactions to people that change it. It's not what you do, it's how we react to what you do.
That's right. And the word forgive is in the movie, and because human beings do not forgive, it gets really ugly. But she was saying it, the movie says it, she believes in it. She's a holistic practitioner as well. She does all sorts of stuff. But it's amazing. I see the movie and then come and we'll talk more.
How scary is it?
It's not
for me, on a scale of Dawn, 1 to 10, scary. Am I going to be like this, or am I going to be able to watch it?
No, you're not going to be like.
I'm not. Okay.
No, but it has its moments where hold on to your popcorn because. But I gotta tell you, they did a great job. I don't know them to say that I'm proud of them, but I am. I'm really proud of what they accomplished. It meant a lot to him, to those three that were here today. It meant a lot to the crew and everybody else that they use on there. But I would love to get involved in something. I would love to see the kids involved in something they do, because they said they needed help. They went all over the country looking for some of the talent that we have in here. And I told them about Gato and Josh and this one over here, the actress.
Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa, the actress.
Look at her face.
But given an opportunity, if you do it, and then it's all said and done, and it hits, it changes your life, man. It just does. That's all I'm saying. It just does. But that was good. That was fun. I liked it.
All right. I guess Helen left. I think we have this day in history and some April Fools, maybe some footage.
Is that what we're doing?
All right. If we have this day in history, let's see what happened.
Let's do it. Let's see it.
Jane Austen responds to a letter from Reverend James Stainer Clark, librarian to England's Prince Regent, the future King George IV, suggesting she write a historic romance, saying, "I could not sit down to write a serious romance under any other motive than to save my life." 1985. Nike releases its first Air Jordan shoes, named for basketball superstar Michael Jordan. On April 1, 1789, the first U.S. House of Representatives, meeting in New York City, reaches quorum and elects Pennsylvania Representative Frederick Augustus Conrad Muhlenberg as its first speaker. April Fool's Day, occurring on April 1 each year, has been celebrated for several centuries by different cultures, though its exact origins remain a mystery. Origins of April Fool's Day. Some historians speculate that April Fool's Day dates back to 1582, when France switched from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, as called for by the Council of Trent in 1563. In the Julian calendar, as in the Hindu calendar, the new year began with the spring equinox around April 1. People who were slow to get the news or failed to recognize that the start of the new year had moved to January 1 and continued to celebrate it during the last week of March through April 1 became the butt of jokes and hoaxes and were called April Fools. These pranks included having paper fish placed on their backs and being referred to as Poisson d'Avril, April fish, said to symbolize a young, easily caught fish and a gullible person. Ilaria in ancient Rome. Historians have also linked April Fool's Day to festivals such as Ilaria, Latin for joyful, which was celebrated in ancient Rome at the end of March by followers of the cult of Cybele. It involved people dressing up in disguises and mocking fellow citizens and even magistrates. It was said to be inspired by the Egyptian legends of Isis, Osiris, and Seth. There's also speculation that April Fool's Day was tied to the vernal equinox, or the first day of spring in the northern hemisphere when Mother Nature fooled people with changing, unpredictable weather. History of April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day spread throughout Britain during the 18th century. In Scotland, the tradition became a two-day event, starting with hunting the gowk, in which people were sent on phony errands. Gowk is a word for cuckoo bird, a symbol for fool, and followed by Tie-Lie Day, which involved pranks played on people's derrieres, such as pinning fake tails or kick-me signs on them.
So now you know why April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day. Actually, Daphne was telling me that April 1st should really be the beginning of the new year because Aries is the beginning of the calendar, the lunar calendar. So this is really like the new year, new beginnings should really be happening now instead of back in January. That's what I was told.
Well, it's true. Now, let me ask you, you ever gone to the movies and they have these barcode things?
No.
You never gone to the movies and see this?
QR codes at
QR
the
code,
movies?
yeah. At the movies, they have a. So if you take a picture of this.
Yeah. Where's it take you?
No, for people who are watching.
Okay.
If you take a picture of this and you put it on your phone will take you to the site. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yes. A QR code,
That's
yeah.
what a QR code does, yes.
I know, but I'm just saying that from here, you can see this.
Yes.
And you can, if you're watching on your screen, and you can order your tickets.
Is that what it is, ordering the tickets from the QR code?
Yes.
Let me see. Let's see where we go.
See if it takes you.
Takes me to ParagonTheaters.com.
Yes.
Paragon Ridge Theater, Sunday, April 6th.
Yes, at 6:30. And he told me that the Paragon is not that big. Is it big?
I haven't been in so long. Here's the trailer on here.
And you can buy your tickets. So if you're looking on the
6:30.
screen and you take a picture of the screen of me holding this up and go to this, you can get your tickets
Well,
for
they've got
Sunday.
box seats, too.
Yes, they're going to have tickets there Sunday. You can meet us there. I'm going to see if I'm not in Melbourne.
Reserve senior tickets. You can get one.
That's what I get too.
You get two.
You too.
I'm not a senior yet.
Yes, you are.
Why?
Oh, I'm not allowed to say. Dawn is a senior. Didn't you just have a birthday?
Yeah, but I'm not 60.
You don't have to be 60.
So how do you have to be?
You got to be 55.
I've been a senior for a long time, then. Really?
Honey, you just growing oldnesses.
Wow, look at
and
that.
remember, it's not wrinkles, it's lines of fine
They also
line.
have a Lux Box senior discount. You could get that. Dine in. I guess they've got food as well.
They bring food. It's a nice place.
Very cool.
You going to go?
I'm going to go. I might be terrified, but I'm going to go.
No, it's not terrifying. And then afterwards, they're going to have a Q&A, and you can go up there and get an autograph and a picture.
6:30 on Sunday. I'm going to. try
Everybody
to
should go. You know how you guys all went to the beach? How much are the tickets?
For an adult, $12.31.
Can't go wrong with $12 ticket. A $12 ticket is like a hot dog at Costco.
All Lux Box tickets include $5 restaurant service charge.
So you're really paying $7. $5 goes to the popcorn and the soda.
All right.
Do you get popcorn when you go to the movies?
No, not usually.
You get something to drink? Or you come in with that bottle of water?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Do you ever have fun when you go to the movies?
Last time I had fun when I went to the movies and I ate popcorn. It was for the J.C. Dreesen show, and I ended up having to get an implant. So, popcorn and I,
You had an implant where?
my tooth.
You popped a tooth?
I cracked my tooth eating
On
all
a
the popcorn
popcorn?
kernels because I like the hard, crunchy kernels. My teeth don't. So, yeah, no.
Really? Didn't I watch that with you?
Yes.
And you never told me you cracked a tooth that night.
I didn't know I cracked it, but that's what happened.
Well, you're a whole lot of fun at the
I
movie
know. What
theater.
can I tell you?
I like to take like a tumbler, make a little few drinks, have a little fun, talk to people, throw popcorn and burn.
I know you do. Maybe Michael wants to go to the movies.
Which one?
Heather, I think, lives right down there, so she's going to try and go also.
Yeah, they invited me down there.
Very cool.
You're gonna go?
Mm-hmm.
On Sunday?
They're really great people.
Well, I've got work and.
6:30 the movie starts, Michael.
Yeah, I know.
Can
They're
you
great
make
people.
it?
Mm-hmm.
Or you'll be at work?
No, I'll be working Sunday until 2, but then I can make it.
Maybe you can even get +1 to make it. Oh
That's
no,
far for her.
she'll be in Orlando. She went to Orlando.
She's like, bro, she's away again.
Are you going away again?
All right.
It kills me when she goes away.
I know.
But I should get G-Man. Oh, G-Man works Sunday now, right? Boy, no, I don't think he works at 6:30 though.
Have to ask and see.
We should find out. So join Dawn there. I think I'm going to be at JoJo's putting her equipment in this weekend.
Very nice.
And then I got to go to Tennessee the weekend after that.
Wonderful.
And then I'm going to Texas the weekend after that.
Terrific.
To see iPossessed in
Terrific.
Texas.
That sounds fantastic.
I'm
You're
going to
gonna
go on the
enjoy all of that.
road.
Wonderful.
I want to make a movie.
Go
The
for
things
it.
I got. April Fool.
Go for it.
April Fool. I got you.
Observe, don't absorb. Enjoy it all. Wonderful. Good idea.
There was April Fool joke.
See? Because I didn't react.
No, you reacted. I could hear the volume going. The steam
The
coming out of
train
your
coming
ear.
down your ear. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Stay safe. Be kind to each other. Save the date. Join us May 2nd as we give back and honor our interns right here at the studio. More information to come. We're going to be putting this out on an email blast, on a flyer, and on Sunday I'm going to be down at Paragon, Pine Island on Davie and used to be 84 Pine Island Road.
Come and check out. I think that the lady who played this part of it is going to be there.
Wonderful.
So I didn't get to meet her.
Okay.
But look at the vein work on that.
It was all done in post-production.
Yeah, they took hours. And look at the black eyes.
Yeah, those are called scleral lenses.
Scleral lenses. They said
cover the whole eye.
they said that she was struggling with this and she was tearing for a little bit before they got.
I'm not big on, but I'm big on supporting local films.
Does that look like Heather?
Not at all. Excuse me? Again, he crosses the line from teasing
No,
to
no, 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 no,
out
no.
of pocket.
No, I'm not saying. Wow. Take away the makeup. Does it look like her without the makeup?
No.
It doesn't?
No.
Her screaming? No.
No.
Have you ever seen me scream?
Again, he goes
Screaming
from
at me.
to offensive. Yeah, which he's going to do when we wrap up
You know,
this
it's
show.
funny. They had to find people to convince them to do a movie because it had like I would have done it. I would just do it. Get you. I want to be that person, a male version of that. But line me up. I love that. No.
Yeah, all day long. Go for it.
April Fool.
Happy April Fools, everyone. We'll see you
I
tomorrow.
got you again.
9 a.m. drive time.
Don't be late. I love that angle. Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next